Hi, in this video we're going to review deploying NSX Manager by using the AnsibleNsx modules. So the playbook will execute a single task that interacts with a single module, and it basically runs through if you've ever deployed NSX Manager, when you deploy the virtual appliance initially, there's essentially a wizard that asks you for some of the basic setup variables for NSX Manager, and the AnsibleNsx module allows you to put those into a text file and then just hit enter to essentially automate the installation of the OVA file. The documentation, you can, in the GitHub course here, you can click to view the formal documentation for the module. So first thing, make sure you have a SSH session or a terminal connection open to your Ansible control server, and we're going to go ahead and create this deploy nsx.yaml. So make sure you're in your NSX Ansible directory. We can see here we are, and I'm going to use the VI text editor. If you're new to Linux, you might be more comfortable using another text editor called gedit, right? So you can see it says VI deploy nsx.yaml. You can do the same thing with gedit if you want. But and that's a little bit easier to use. That being said, in this case, we're not going to be using any advanced functionality in VI, so you should be able to follow along. So we'll call this deploy nsx.yaml. Enter. And you can see in this case I have already created this playbook, and you can see that I actually just copied and pasted in the values exactly from the sample playbook here. But don't just do this mindlessly, right? If you just paste it in without thinking through, usually for me that is not the best way for me to retain information. So take some time, look and see what the values are here. Ask for our data center, data store, port group. If you're using one cloud lab, I provided these for you. If you're using your own home lab, make sure you use the appropriate variables for your lab environment. And these are standard information here that you can get from your vCenter in your lab. And you have to decide DNS, domain. Again, the same exact variables that you have to run through any time that you are deploying an NSX Manager. So now that we've created the file, we'll go ahead and press escape. Inside of, and then I'll type in the colon. You can see down here it created a colon entry, and I type in WQ, W for write to save the file, and Q for quit. And now that we have the file created, type in the command ansible-playbook -I for inventory, and I have a host file saved to it, and then the name of our playbook, which is deploy nsx.yaml. Now once I hit enter here, the play will start to run, and it will take, for this particular play, it's got to transfer the NSX Manager virtual appliance file from where it's saved locally on the Ansible control server, and it's got to transfer it into the data store environment into vCenter, and so that takes time. This deployment takes about 10 to 20 minutes, and during the time it's deploying, it doesn't provide any output back on the screen. But go take a break, come back and look. If it hasn't finished, take another break. You will either get a error message if you've typed in something wrong, or it'll come back saying it's successful. So I'm going to pause here while that's running, and I'll resume shortly. Okay, we're back, and we can see that our play has finished executing. It says here that the task, deploy NSX Manager, for the result for that we got changed, localhost. And you can see the play recap. It says it was okay, and it was changed. Now let's go ahead and we'll verify these results to make sure that our NSX Manager server is actually there. So I've already opened up a remote desktop session to my lab environment, and if you're in one cloud, go into your remote desktop to the main console server, and open a web browser and connect to the vCenter web client. And once you're there, go ahead and look, and you'll see, if you're starting from home, go to the hosts and clusters view, and you can see the NSX Manager 01A server running. Now that's the only verification step we'll take at this time. You need to complete the next two sections to register NSX Manager to vCenter, and then register to single sign-on service. And once you've done that, we can come back into vSphere web client, and then we'll have the networking and security interface we can use to configure NSX features. So that's it for this section. Thank you.